I have been pretty excited about this topic, so we'll dive right in. How to be grateful bad things happen to you. That's my jam. Um, so, when I was young, I had some bad things happen to me. I was a teenager, um, and it's a long story that I don't want to get into. But essentially, I was cyber stalked pretty severely, and it ended up being a family member who was harassing me, and basically sexually abusing me through the internet. And it took some tolls, it was really tough to, one, just receive the messages because they were horrible and they destroyed a lot of my self-esteem. They made me paranoid, and afraid, and I felt hated, and I felt like, what could I have possibly done for someone to hate me this much? And then when I found out who it was, there was like this crazy trying to reconcile in my mind how this person that to my face was loving and kind and generous, and family, then like how could that's like putting that face on the anonymous messages was like a mind fuck. I don't even know. Like, it took literal days. Like, it did not even happen overnight. Like, my brain was like computing hard, to figure out how to make sense of that. And anyways, long story short, like, it impacted me very deeply, and I was very angry at the world for a minute after that, for a while, for a few years. And I was self-punishing in ways that I didn't even realize I was doing. One of those ways was having a lot of random sex with strangers. I was like in college, and I think just that was like the only way. I think it was a compulsion. It was like a compulsion to get rid of the pain, I think. I used to call it a sex addiction, but I heard a great video recently saying like that technically isn't a thing, maybe, and the closest thing that she described was like more like a compulsion to relieve some pain. So that feels right to me. And then some other ways was just drug and alcohol use, like just binging and partying. And yes, I was in college, and yes, I was rooming with some people who loved to party, but it was dangerous. It was like reckless in a way. It was like I wanted to see what else the world could throw at me or do to me. It was like I was daring the world to hurt me more, I think. And another way was like the hot yoga that I would go to. Like, I could never have done the gentle yoga that I do now because I could not hold myself gently. I think it was like, sorry, now I'm like really digging into this, but there was so much, I think, self-disgust that I don't even really know how it got there. I don't know if it was like the messages subconsciously got to me, or like I'd lost some friends too in the process of the whole thing, and friends that were also bullying me online. So like, maybe it was like all of that kind of subliminally like got to me and made me feel like maybe I wasn't a good person. Or maybe just when people treat you like shit, you eventually believe that you're shit, I think. Like, when people treat you badly, you believe you're bad. And so I did a lot of therapy. The first breakthrough in therapy came around the word validation. And it was, I finally felt validated. Or I realized what I had been missing from my extended family was validation, and people understanding the impact of the story, the impact of what had happened, and like how really intense and horrible it had been for me. I felt invalidated, and like having a name for that, I remember that being super powerful experience. Like, suddenly I was just like, validation, that's it. Like, that's the thing that I like couldn't put my finger on or didn't understand at the time. in college, I ultimately decided to start working on a documentary project about what had happened and telling my own story. And at first, it was a revenge film. It was totally a revenge film. I will own that. Like, and family members were very upset at me for like wanting to put this story out and talk about it and, you know, publicly shame what they saw as publicly shaming our family. And it was at first like a plan to get my uncle for what he had done to me. Ha, Freudian slip. Okay, we'll get there. Yeah, so it started out as that, but it evolved over the years. Like, as my healing journey deepened and grew, the motive of the film completely changed to now it's a film about how do you heal from something like this? How do you set yourself free when the justice system fails you and your family fails you and the people that were supposed to love you fail you and betray you? Like, sorry, I ate too many sour strips. How do you set yourself free after something like this happens? Because I think that's ultimately what people need. Like, yes, it'd be nice if the justice system were fixed. Yes, it'd be nice if we could get justice we deserve. But would justice have even made me feel any better? Like, really, in the long run? Like, you still have to go on a healing journey after that. Like, even if they go behind bars or whatever, you still have to go on the healing journey, like, eventually. Like, it's just waiting for you. So ultimately, like, that's what the film's about now. And the healing started to happen when I started working with a forgiveness coach for the film. And she started to help me separate out the story that I had about what had happened and the impact of what had happened, what actually happened versus what I thought happened. So, like, we just construct a lot of narratives. Like, so-and-so ruined my family is a story. So-and-so sent 16 anonymous messages to me is a fact. I can prove that. There's data, like, whatever. But so-and-so ruined my family, that's an interpretation I am giving the thing that happened. So it's starting to realize that the meaning we assign to things that happen in our lives, we get to choose that. We get to fucking choose that, which is crazy when you realize that. It's fucking nuts. And it applies to everything. Like, everything that happens, we get to assign the meaning. And I think what so much of it is about for me now is about removing the struggle. Like, being at peace with things, learning to accept things. Like, we want to label things as wrong and that this shouldn't have happened, but it did. It fucking happened. It has happened. It is. I am. Like, it exists. It happened. And the fact that you can't change that means that you can only change how you relate to it. You can only change the story you have about it and what you make it mean to you. So I started learning how to tell a new story. And it did not happen right away. In fact, it literally took 10 years for me to get this shit. It also came from understanding, starting to be a more spiritual person, starting to find a higher power, find something greater than me that I see myself in, that I am piece and parcel of. It's a very important piece for me that God is not out there, like, God is in here too. And if you actually, like, get in really into meditation and you start inquiring into your own experience, what I found is that there is a thing behind everything else that is just constant, steady. Like, it's just this calm, this peace, this nothingness, and this everythingness that just is, and it's back of all things. And so for me, that's source, that's God, that's the universe or whatever. And it was learning that piece of me can't be touched or harmed or violated by anything in my life that happens. Like, my life is a movie that plays out on a projector, but it's the projector screen isn't, like, being touched or changed. You know what I mean? Like, it's playing out on that thing, and that thing is consciousness, and it's your awareness. It's the thing that is. It's the thing that is. And so for me, that's really like when I really started to get those things. So I started to get that I get to choose what this story means. When I started to get that, sometimes when I get in flow, I get self-conscious and then I stop. And then I'd stop myself. All right. So when I started to get that the story, I could choose the meaning. When I started to get that I had never actually been violated, that I'm actually like still whole and complete. That's when like the real like healing started. And I started to realize that like all of the seeking that I had to do because of what happened, like, is the reason that I'm free now. Like, it is how I learned to free my mind. It is how I learned, like, to live a spiritual life. And the fact that I have that is invaluable. Like, I would not trade anything for that, which means I would not trade anything for what happened. So it's like when you truly choose to make what happened to you mean something fucking incredible and something so fucking beautiful and freeing and inspiring, like, then you're grateful it happened. Like, I'm honestly glad it happened. And I guess if I could have gotten here another way, like, maybe, but like I guess I choose to believe that this is the only way I could have gotten there. Like, I think that what happened was like divinely manicured for me, for what I needed to experience, to go to that dark place, to get to the back to the light place. And like, I think we all have our thing. It's just when it happens or how it happens and kind of how much of your life it burns down. Like, it's like a tower card, you know, in tarot. Like, everybody has a tower moment that makes you question your beliefs and gives you the option and the opportunity to decide and choose a new story. And I guess the truth is too, like, some people don't ever choose. Some people don't like choose a new story. Some people don't. And that is a hard thing to watch other people do. Really hard thing to watch other people do. Once you've like gotten to a certain place in your healing, you just want everyone to get there. And that's an urge that I have to stifle in myself because it is not my responsibility to get other people here. They like, I can share my experience, but they must come at their own pace. Like, that is their divine journey, and I don't get to take that from them or change or fuck with it, and I don't want to. So, but my like human savior complex gets the best of me sometimes, and I just want to be like, don't you get it? Like, you can be free. So anyways, that is ultimately, long story short, how I learned to be grateful for the bad things that happen in life. And I hope that this was interesting, or like, I hope that this made sense. I hope that if you have something that happened to you that you've been trying to reconcile, I hope that this is like a new way to think about it. And yeah, I just know for you that there is a better, more free place to be on the other side of the things that happen to us. So if you're not there yet, but you want to be, please reach out to me. I'd love to talk about how I can help. If you're like, I'm ready for help, that's different than me like pushing it on people. So like, if you want help, like, please let me know. These are the kinds of things I want to coach people on and help people with, how to really be grateful for what's happened to them and then like find their voice again after trauma. Because for me, finding this and finding YouTube and being able to share my opinions and my thoughts and beliefs on here has been the ultimate playground after healing. It's been like the ultimate gift, I guess, or irony, like, that my pain started because of something I shared on the internet, And now my joy and my success and my life force, that's a little dramatic, but comes from like sharing, or is amplified by my sharing my voice on the internet. So, yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I never know how to end these, so I guess peace out, and I'll see you next time.